Bowers Game Corner presents Gen Con Video Bonanza 2016. Brought to you by Gutshot Games and their Gen Con release, Headhunters, a collectible card game and a collectible toy. And Shoot Again Games, makers of Looting Atlantis and Conspiracy. Look for Pinball Showdown on Kickstarter soon. Also brought to you by the generous support of these companies and our fantastic Kickstarter backers.
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for more of our Gen Con Bonanza Explosion Blowout coverage. And right now we're going to be covering something very different because we bring you everything different, everything good from Gen Con 2016. We're going to be talking with Benjamin from Syrinscape about their board game enhancing... What? Did you explain it to me?
Syrinscape is an app that creates incredibly beautiful, easy to use, immersive soundtracks for your board games. So just like the soundtrack in a movie, you'll have the sound of the environment. If that's a beautiful green island with sheep, then you'll be able to hear the sort of sounds of the insects and the wind through the grass and the sheep. And then, and then music as well, and absolutely everything to immerse you in the game you're playing.
So how does it work? Can you show us all the goodies?
We'll say you're playing Catan, which is a fantastic, quite well-known board game. You might be setting up the game here and just hit the setting up sound. It doesn't make too much noise, just a few insects happily talking in the background. When you're ready to start, you touch the Getting Started, and a bit of the music soundtrack might go on in the background. You can, my 11-year-old, while she's playing, she tends to spam on the sheep and pig sounds. Probably the best thing I like about the Catan sound set at the moment, though, is that, you know, when you roll a 7 in Catan, you kind of go, oh, well, it's a 7, and it's quite common and everything. Well, now when you roll a 7, you touch the robber one set, and it does one of these things. Wait.
It's funny, now that I think about it, I could probably put my talents to better use elsewhere, but I really like taking things that don't belong to me.
And there's actually about 60 of those robber sounds. So if I kept touching that robber button, there'd be, a different one almost every single time. So, and yeah, there's sounds for when you're chopping down wood. So when you roll the die and it's like, oh, we get wood, you just touch get wood.
Timber!
It'll just make the sound of wood being chopped down. There's a bit more of a music soundtrack. Now with Syrinscape, you can actually adjust the volume of everything. So if you don't want the music to be so loud, you just turn it down a bit. You can turn it off, you can turn it on. You could mix in some rain sounds or whatever you like. It's basically really easy to use, customizable, and super fun.
And it's not just Catan, correct? There's other games as well? What else we got going on?
That's right. There's a fantastic card game called Boss Monster, which is really, really awesome. You just touch Game Start.
I feel like the kid at the store right now who's about to get whooped when he gets home for turning on the stereo too loud.
So Boss Monster is like a rebuild of like a 8-bit computer game. So it has your kind of computer game music running in the background. Plus different events. Usually the board games have, you don't want to sit there touching the app all the time, yeah? But just when something happens, like maybe you manage to kill the mage. Listen to this one.
I will be avenged, hopefully.
Or maybe the fighter manages to win in battle against your dungeon.
Today, my watch has started.
And once again, there's events for the different bosses in Boss Monster, and once again, under each button there's lots and lots of sounds, so you never get that sort of repetition that gets really annoying. We also support Orphans and Ashes, which is a fantastic game where you basically have crackling and burning orphans, which is very, very tragic. We have 2 games by R&R, which is Spike, which is a train game, which is super, super fun, and Spellcaster, which is a really, really high-speed sort of blow each other up game, which is really, really super. And plus there's lots more games coming out in the board game player over the next coming year.
That's fantastic. So where can people get this? How do you go about getting this?
Yeah, so just go to syrinscape.com, syrinscape.com, or go to the App Store. It's available on iPhones and iPads and the Play Store for Android tablets and phones, or PC and Mac, and just type in Syrinscape. You can even misspell it in Google if you want. It'll find us. And then download the app for free. Each of the apps, the Fantasy Player for tabletop role-playing, the Sci-Fi Player, and the board game player all come with 2 free sound sets, so you can actually give it a total tryout, see if you like it. Then you can just buy one of the sound sets to use in your game for tonight or whatever you like.
Sounds very cool. Thank you very much, Ben. That is Syrinscape, and we're looking at all the board game stuff. And wow, not what I was expecting, but I like it an awful lot. If you're enjoying this Gen Con coverage, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. And in the comments below, let me know, how were you in the grocery store as a kid? Were you good? Were you bad? For me personally, I was the one kid that was like screaming and yelling until I got what I wanted. I was a really bad kid. What about you, Benjamin? Were you good in the store?
I always, my mother used to promise me a little bit of that sort of really cheap packaged meat, and for some reason that got in my head that was the ultimate prize. So from a certain sort of age, I was like, if I'm really good, I'll get a piece of, like, you know, Spam or whatever. It was like, wow! So at some point I worked that out and then stopped being nice, but it lasted for a long time.
I have to remember that one with my son. But let me know in the comments below, how were you in the grocery store as a kid? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.
This was brought to you by Headhunters from Gunshot Games, Pinball Showdown from Shoot Again Games, these great companies, and fans like you.